Hi, I'm Stacy Wesco. Welcome to PA Biz Conversations, a newsroom web series of Lehigh Valley Business and Central Penn Business Journal, where we talk to leaders in the community about issues that are important to Pennsylvania businesses. With me in this segment is Claire Sadler. She is the Deputy Director of the Link Trail Network. Welcome, Claire.
Thank you. Hello, Stacy. Thanks for having me today.
Could you start out by just explaining to people a little bit about what the Link Trail Network is, what it's a part of, how it got started, all of that?
Sure. So the Link Trail Network is an interconnected network of multi-use trails in Lehigh and Northampton counties. And so that includes trails that people are probably familiar with, some of them, the DNL Trail, the Saucon Rail Trail, Ironton Rail Trail. There are many of them. And the goal of the network, and the reason we brought together a coalition to advance the network and connect gaps, is because we were seeing how big of an impact it's having when people can get from one location to another, the outdoor recreation impact, and the tourism and business impact, which is why we're talking about it today. But so we wanted to make sure that we were able to bring all of those messages together and help people learn more about the network as a whole and all the trails within it.
Okay, tell me exactly what are these trails used for? They're multi-purpose.
Yes, so when we talk about multi-use trails, those are trails that are not specifically or limited to like hiking only trails or mountain bike only trails. So we are talking about trails that are generally 8 or more feet wide. Some of them are paved, but most of them, all of them have, a hard packed surface. And they are ones that you can use for biking, walking, running, often in the winter, cross-country skiing. A lot of people are out on them to fish along the waterways that they parallel most of the time, or photography, or painting, things like that. So they are ones that you can get to for using for outdoor recreation, but also for the transportation aspect, being able to get to the nearest restaurant or get to work or things like that.
Now, it might seem strange to people to be talking about hiking trails on a business news website, but there is a reason we're talking about this, and that is the economic development that these trails bring to our region. Tourism and many different aspects of our economy are impacted by this. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yes, it's so true that the trails really do stimulate the local economy, and that can be everything from providing a direct connection to local businesses where people can get off the trail and use local retail shops, restaurants, things like that. But also the money that people will then spend in outdoor recreation businesses, doing trips or paying for, new running shoes or getting a new bike. And that's something we've actually seen a huge boom in during the pandemic we're in right now, because people were getting back to nature and getting out and trying to find somewhere they could distance and still be safe and getting some exercise. So we have seen a big boom in it recently, but overall pre-pandemic, the Lehigh Valley Planning Commission, along with other partners, did a return on environment report to really study the outdoor recreation and natural system services in the region. And they found that more than $795 million is spent on outdoor recreation each year just in the Lehigh Valley. So it really makes an impact.
And I believe you said it was about 25% of the tourism revenue in Pennsylvania. And tourism is an important economic driver in Pennsylvania. It is directly outdoor recreation. So that's a big segment.
Correct. Yes, you're correct on the 25% of all tourism in the Lehigh Valley comes through the recreation field. The other thing that really impacts the economy is the property values that increase from being near protected open space and trails included in that. And that same return on environment report actually found that the average premium afforded to houses within a quarter mile of open space was $14,600 of increase.
And I believe it also helps with employee attraction and retention, and it helps economic development officials attract corporations, businesses to the Lehigh Valley. I believe Hearst did choose the site that it chose in downtown Easton. That's the publisher that took over for Rodale, the bicycling magazine and running magazine. It wanted to be close to trails, and the office it chose was close to trails. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. So generally, yes, we do hear from employers that are looking to relocate to areas where it'll make it easier for them to attract more employees to live in a region that has good outdoor recreation and trail access. But it also increases the health, obviously. So we, working at the DNL and having the trail in Easton there, we have had conversations with Hearst and others that have been attracted to the region because of that. So we are seeing it be important. And also we're seeing more people that want to move to the Lehigh Valley because of the opportunities. We've spoken with real estate agents that say when they know more about the local trail network and the parks, they're able to better answer questions for interested buyers that are coming to the region to find the houses that will be close to those recreation opportunities.
How does the greater Lehigh Valley, and it's not just the Lehigh Valley, it expands beyond that. How do we compare to other regions? Is this something that we're doing right? Do we need to do more?
I think we actually compare quite well. We do mirror off of some other regions. The Philadelphia region has a fantastic trail network as well, and we've learned a lot of lessons from them as partners with the circuit trails that connects to the Link Trail Network with multiple different trails, the DNL trail being one of them. But I think what we're unique in is that we really have the benefit of having that urban core in the Lehigh Valley that you can very quickly use the trails to get from urban to suburban to rural and see the character of the entire region. And we also have such a variety of different trails that all just have come together quite nicely. Where we need the public support, though, is that we've gotten down to where we have gaps between connecting the Ironton Rail Trail to the DNL Trail, or getting the Saucon Rail Trail connected to the South Bethlehem Greenway. And connecting those gaps has become a little more difficult. They're some of the ones that have more issues to overcome, but when our local leaders are hearing how important it is from the public, if people support these trails and want to see them connected, voicing their opinion and letting the leaders know that this is something important, this is something to put money towards because it's going to have that business impact as well as the recreation and the health impact.
And that's why you wanted to speak to us today, because you are trying to get corporate leaders and professionals saying, yes, this is something we want for our employees. This makes us want to come or stay to the Lehigh Valley. But you need more than that. Of course, you need support, you need funding. And you did say that the parts that are left were left for last because they're the most difficult to develop. So you have some challenges. What do you need to finish this up? And what will a finished network bring that a semi-finished network doesn't bring?
Yeah, so a few things there. I'll try to answer each of them. But as far as a finished network, I like to think about it as the sky's the limit. There will be other areas that might decide they want trails, but right now we're focusing on the ones that are on the plans that people have planning done for. A lot of the partners have progressed in the engineering for them. But some of what we really need is the public knowledge of the trails. That's part of the reason we're trying to get the word out, send people to take a look at the different trails. You might use one that's close to your house, but understanding how they're all connected using the linktrails.com is a great way to start to learn about them, but then also be able to voice your support, put money towards them. There are ways to donate to close these gaps, donate funding to close these gaps, volunteer your time. If donating money isn't something that is feasible, the maintenance of the existing trails, making sure signage is good, things like that. So there are a multitude of ways that people can support. And the reason that it'll be different and better when we get these connections is that each time we close the gap, we are connecting more communities to each other. We're connecting possibly more employers to an employee where they couldn't have safely biked to work before because they're not comfortable biking on a roadway, and we might have just connected more of them. We are connecting students to schools a lot of times, and we have districts in the Valley that don't bus to school, so providing those safer routes to school is important. So there are a lot of ways that each new gap advances those things. And so we are trying to get the word out and have people be able to enjoy it, but also see the benefits it brings to our region.
Okay, Claire, you did say you had a website that people could go to for more information. Could you share that with our viewers?
Sure. The linktrails.com is our website, and people can also follow on Facebook by looking up the Link Trails. And just to be clear, you know, we are not trying to overbrand any of the many wonderful trails. We work with each of them in this effort. It is a coalition of partners, and it's very important to us to make sure that we are working with as many partners as possible.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for joining us. This has been PA Biz Conversations. For more business news, you can go to Lehigh Valley Business at lvb.com or Central Penn Business Journal at cpbj.com. Have a good day.